All right, we are doing 1.3 notes, the distributive property with combining like terms. So this is all about distributing a number, so that's with multiplying outside of a parenthesis. And then we are, after you distribute, we're going to have to look at, are there any like terms that we can put together? So let's start this off. So one thing on the side here, we have recalling that A times B plus C is the same thing. This is A times B. Because it's multiplication, you're multiplying both of the terms inside. Plus A times C. And the same thing works, distributive also works with subtraction. So you have A times B, AB, subtract A times C. So we're multiplying A times both the terms inside of the parentheses. So let's work this out with number 1. So we have 7 times in parentheses x plus 4. 7 times x, 7x, plus 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. No like terms, and that's our final answer. Number 2, we have a negative 4 times y is a negative 4y, plus negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Plus a negative, we can simplify this a little bit, so it's a negative 4y. We have plus a negative here. That is the same thing as subtraction, so you're subtracting 12. So the best answer is negative 4y minus 12. All right, number 3, let's look at this. We have a negative, so we're distributing that negative inside the parentheses. You can think of it as a negative 1. So negative 1 times y is a negative 1y, or just negative y. And then we have negative 1 times a negative 9. I'm going to take that negative, and then it'll be 2 negatives multiplied to a positive 9. Or you can think of it as opposite of negative 9 is a positive 9. And there's no like terms, so that's your final answer. Number 4, we have 8 times 4 is 32. And then 8 times a negative b is a negative 8b, or subtracting 8b. Number 5, we have negative 4 times a negative w, or negative 4 times negative 1 is a positive 4w. And then negative 4 times negative 10 is a positive 2 negatives multiplied to a positive 40. Number 6, we have 3 times m is 3m, and 3 times a positive n is a positive 3n. So I put the plus. Number 7, we have x times y is xy. X times a positive 4 is a positive 4x. No like terms, so this is our final answer. Number 8, all right, now we have not just 2 terms inside parentheses, but we have 3. And that's all right, we just keep doing the same thing. 3x times 2y. So we have the coefficients, 3 times 2 is 6. X times y is xy. So those are not the same variable, so we don't put those together at all. All right, then we have 3x times negative 5z. So 3 times negative 5 is a negative 30. No, it is not. Negative 15. X times z is just xz. Put them next to each other, it just means x times z. And then lastly, we have 3x times a positive 1. So 1 times 3 is positive 3, and then it's just x. Now I'm going to look at, do we have any like terms? 6xy's, 15xz's. Those xy's and xz's are not the same, and then just x. Nope, no like terms. That's our final answer. Number 9. All right, so we need to multiply, and we have a fraction. Let's not be scared of them. When you're multiplying fractions, you have to represent every number as a fraction. So 1/4 times 8x. So that's 1/4 times 8 over 1. That's going to be multiply the numerators. 1 times 8 is 8. Multiply the denominators. 4 times 1 is 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So that's going to be 2x. And let's do that again. 1/4 times a negative 4, represented over 1. So we have 1/4 times negative 4 over 1. Multiply the numerators, negative 4. Multiply the denominators. 4 times 1 is 4. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. So that's going to be minus 1. And there's your final answer, no like terms. Whew, number 10. Look at these fractions. Negative 1/8 times 4/5 x. Multiply the numerators, so I'll put this negative on the numerator, so negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Multiply the denominators, 8 times 5 is 40. I'm going to reduce that to negative 1 over 10. So divide numerator and denominator by 4. So this is going to turn out to be negative 1/10 x. Then we also have negative 1/8 times negative 24. Represent negative 24 as a fraction, so over 1. Multiply the numerators, 24. Multiply the denominators, 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3, so plus 3. No like terms, so we're good there. All right, so now we got to distribute and combine. So there were no like terms there. So first we're going to distribute and then combine like terms. So number 11, we're going to distribute. I see the distributing. 8 times 2x is 16x. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. And then minus 6x will just come down. Now we're going to look at, do we have like terms? 16x minus 6x. 16 minus 6 is 10. Minus 24. Number 12, we've got a couple different things to combine here. So get your like terms. 9 times 2k is 18k. 9 times negative 4 is negative 36. Bring this negative. Always be careful with that. Negative 2, we're going to distribute that. Negative 2 times 7k is a negative 14k. Negative 2 times negative 12, 2 negatives multiplied to a positive, 24. Let's see if we got any like terms here. 18k minus 14k, so 18k's minus 14k is 4k. And negative 36 plus 24, still going to be a negative, but smaller negative, minus 12. Number 13, oh, that looks kind of confusing. That 10 is not what we're distributing. Gotta be super careful with that. You're actually distributing this negative. It's a negative 1 times. So with our distributing, we gotta do negative 1 times negative 1 times y is a negative, so this 10 comes down. And then we're going to do negative 1 times y as a negative 1y, or just negative y. Negative 1 times a negative 6 is a positive 6. And then subtract y is coming down. So let's look at what we have like terms. 10 plus 6, 16. We have negative 1y minus another y is a negative 2y. Number 14, we have this 8 is going to be distributed, so 6 comes down. 8 times 4w is 32w. 8 times negative 7 is negative 56. This subtraction here, we're going to take that as a negative 1 times 2w, so negative 2w. Negative 1 times 1 is a negative 1, so minus 1. Let's gather our like terms. We have 6 minus 56 is negative 50. Minus 1 is negative 51. And 32w minus 2w is 30w. 15. We have fractions, so you multiply 9/4 times 10/3, so multiply the numerators and the denominators. 9/4 times -4 is -1, so multiply the numerators. -36, multiply the denominators, 4. So there's our first distribution. Our second one, -4 1/4 times -2. So multiply the numerators. So minus 2x over 4. Multiply the denominators. Distribute again. Multiply the numerators. Or -1 times -8 is a positive 8. 1 and 4 times 1 is 4. Now we need to simplify things. I'm going to simplify each term first. So in the green, I'm going to do 90 over 12. Reduce that down, divide the numerator. I don't know what the easiest one is, so I'm just going to divide by 2 each time. And divide by 3. So that's 15 over 2x. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Minus, so now I'm in purple, 2 over 4 reduces down and divided by 2, numerator and denominator, so -1/2 x, or -1x over 2. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. This reduces down to 2, so plus 2. All right, let's get our like terms together now. 15/2 x minus 1/2 x. So we're combining like terms. We have like denominators, so we can subtract the numerators. 15 minus 1 is 14. Let's get a new color. 14 over 2x. And then -9 plus 2 is -7. 14 divided by 2 is 7, so this actually turns out to 7x minus 7. Pretty simple. Simple as answer. Wasn't simple to get there, though. If you got there, awesome job. If you got some of it or understood it, great job also. All right, number 16, doing a very similar thing. All right, so we have 7/8 times 4/5 x, multiply the numerators, multiply the denominator. 7/8 times 16, multiply the numerator. 16 times 7 is... Sorry, I didn't have this out in my head. 16 times 7, so that's 10, 70, 45, sorry, 112, I believe. But I'm going to check it on my calculator. 112. 112. 8 times 1, the denominator's 8. And then I'll continue to gather some like terms. 3/5 times 1/2, so multiply the numerators. 3. 5 times 2, the denominator is 10. 3/5 times a -10 is going to be a -30 over 5 times 1 is 5. All right, let's reduce each term now. So 28 over 40, I think divided by 4, 7/10. Okay, so that works out. 7 over 10x. 112 divided by 8. I'm just going to check to see if that divides evenly. Sweet, it does. So 112 divided by 8 is 14. If not, I would just divide numerator and denominator by 2 each time. Plus 3/10, that's reduced already. 30 divided by 5 is 6. All right, I think this is going to work out pretty nice. Gathering our like terms, we have 7/10 x plus 3/10 x. So adding fractions, you have to have like denominators, so we both have 10s in the denominator. So you add the numerators. So 7 plus 3 is 10. Bring the denominator along. 14 minus 6 is 8. 10 divided by 10 is 1, actually, 1x. And you can actually drop 1 times x is x. So x plus 8 is your final answer. Lastly, number 17. We have to give the area of each figure. Area means length times width. So we need to multiply length times width, so 6 times 3y minus 4. Well, that means we need to distribute, so 6 times 3y is 18y. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24, so minus 24. No like terms, nothing to simplify, and that's it. Here we go with a triangle. Area of a triangle is 1/2 times base times height. So we have 1/2 times the base, which is 2x plus 8, times the height, which is 5. Distributing, you only needed, with multiplication, you only are actually distributing to 1. So you multiply, with multiplication of multiple things, you work it left to right. So 1/2 times 2x, multiply the numerators, 1 times 2 is 2. Multiply the denominators, 2 times 1 is 2. 1/2 times 8, you can actually think of this, half of 8 is what? I'm sure you can get that. Otherwise, 1 times 8 is 8, the numerator. Multiply the denominator, 2 times 1 is 2. And we still have that times 5 left over. So after we figure this out, we're going to have to then multiply by 5. So 1/2, or 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times x is x. 8 divided by 2 is 4. I still need to multiply by this 5. So I need to distribute this 5. It's actually, I'm going to do backwards. So it's 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 4 is 20. 5x plus 20. No like terms. That is it. Cool. That is everything. If you have any questions on 1.3,